Alright, I'm going to be showing you guys two ways to remove the flywheel on one of these small engines. Now the first thing in any small engine you do is you have to take off the shroud, which sits right over it, usually has the pull start on it and the oil filler neck on there. So we'll remove that. There's usually 4 or 5 bolts around it. Not too complicated. You'll see them. They're easy to get to. Second thing would be to remove this nut here. On something like a riding mower or something like that, it's going to be a 15/16. But on something smaller like this, it happens to be a 19 millimeter. So if you don't have one, there are other ways to do it. But we'll just zip this off quick. Remove the nut. There's a washer, and then there's this cup here, which actually catches for the pull start to rotate the engine. So we'll remove those, put those aside somewhere where we can't lose them. And the first method is the one that you should be using. Is something like this. It's the claw puller. So all you really do is you hook both edges underneath on opposite points, and you'll see this hole right in the middle of where the nut went on, and that's so this point on here has somewhere to line up into. So these edges, these hooks go around the outside and on the bottom to pull, and then this goes right on the inside, right in the middle where that notch is. So we'll go ahead and I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but this flywheel is cracked, so it has to be replaced. And that's why I'm removing this one. So we'll go ahead and line this up. And we'll make sure those claws are in there. Tighten this thing up with our hand. And then I believe it is a 14 millimeter. Nope, I was wrong. Yep, it's a 17 on that. So we'll just take a 17 millimeter socket and a ratchet and twist up on this, and this one broke free pretty quick. So that's the way you should be doing it. However, let's say you don't have a flywheel puller and you're only doing this once. You got to change out the shear pin or something else on here. You gotta service. We'll throw this back on here. Tightened up quick. So now the flywheel has been compressed back down under there. Take that off again. And now we're at the same spot. So the flywheel's stuck on here, not coming off. The other method, which I don't recommend, is you can take a long, thick, flathead screwdriver, kind of pry up on here a little tiny bit, put the nut back on so you don't damage the threads, make the nut flush with the top of the bolt here, and then gently tap on it with a hammer. Rotate it a little bit, get another side of it, and there we go. We can remove the nut, and this flywheel comes right off. So there are two pretty straightforward, easy ways of removing these flywheels. And another thing to note here is once you remove the flywheel, if you have a good shear pin, make sure to take it out right away and do not lose it. Put it somewhere where you won't forget it. Because if you try to put this engine together without the shear pin in there, it's just going to rotate and nothing's going to happen. So there's that. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you, and it's pretty straightforward stuff.